Well. Top of the morning to you. Yes, I'm back. Guess who's back? Code is back. Tell you, friend. I happen to have a friend here with me right now. So first off, what I want to get out of the way is Rabbits of Chaos. I hope you're having a blessed day. Thank you for stopping by. Uh, a little bit of I'll do my monologue. Well, despite all the topics going on in this world, and what's taking place this week, being that this channel is about positivity, uplifting, and feel good moments, I told you I want to start diving into the topics, the headlines, the news, and just keep current events up and keep you guys informed and to make this like a little bit of a hood news network. And if you're wondering who this other bald head guy next to me, he's a co-anchor for today. This is actually Nate, friend with me and Cuzzo. We met a while back. We never got a chance to do something. He's actually building his channel right now. He's been with other channels. And the reason why I like this guy is because there's things I can't say on here, but he's had the same mission. His mission is to help people, not to be a jerk off, not to treat people like crap. And, I was going to call this episode, instead of Freestyle Friday, I was going to call it, What Do You Feel Friday? Because I've noticed that, especially with the men, there's so many feelings on this YouTube channel, man, that it's like you never know what to think when it's coming from certain people. All I'm saying is the best thing you could do to navigate that is just keep your head down, man, mind your business, and keep doing your content and stay consistent. In the future, Cuzzo should be joining us shortly. I haven't been on here. I apologize. I had, after burying my father, I tried to go on Monday. I was set, but I had another somebody in my family's dealing with something a little traumatic. So that took some time. And I know that it's hard at this time of the day, but I'm still here. Despite one people, two people, doesn't matter. We're here because we're trying to, like I said, make a difference. And, there's going to be a lot more stuff that I'll be doing that might be of interest, because it won't be, be cool, be a good guy, stay out of trouble. It's nothing like that. It won't be so rehearsed. I'm going to start pulling statistics and doing some documentaries, mini documentaries on life and process, and picking topics and doing things like that. And with that being said, like, my counterpart, my cohort right here, today we're going to discuss, it's a freestyle. So you guys, we know each other, but we're still learning more things. So we're going to just go off of each other right now, no Diddy, and we're going to just shoot the shit, and Cuzzo should be here. And as you know, Rabbit, you're my witness because you're here. Just so everybody knows, I am dropping off money to the veterans.
Yes.
And as you can see, we were at 60. Somebody donated 50. I donated 10. I just donated another $15. We're at $75. Now I'm going to show you because, Nate, you got to watch up here because everybody thinks somebody's a scammer. They report you. They lie.
Which I
think it's great. I think it's great because it makes me really show people up. But here's actually the place that I went to. This is where I went to. You can see the bag of socks in my hand. I went there. This one of the times I went there. Philadelphia Veterans House. You can look it up. It's on 45th and Chestnut Avenue, Philadelphia, PA. And it's like I said, well, you can see what's there. Look.
They doubt you watch your shorts.
Yeah. But check this out. 300 socks. Yeah. And the reason why I want to share that is because, like I was telling Nate, my Lee Lance, what's up, brother? There's a good dude. I'm trying to do something, and I'm sure you're on the same page, to where this thing is not for nothing. Everything we put into here to get an end result, not to say, we knew what we did and we changed the world. No, it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying with the stuff I know, what you know, with Cuzzo, a bunch of other people collaborating. And plus, we got some news about a new podcast that we're actually about to venture into that's going to be really good. A lot of different opinions. But the main thing I'm doing, and what I like what he's doing right now, is understanding that the goal is to open up youth centers and help the youth. Now, maybe somebody doesn't want to do everything I do, help the, make the wish, the homeless veterans. That's fine. But what you could do, if you want to make a friggin' difference, the first thing you could do is stop being an a-hole. treat people with respect. The second thing you could do is realize that when you look in the mirror, you're the one that has to believe that, nobody else. Third thing, if you think money is the answer for everything, I know a guy right now is in the fight of his life, and he's a great guy, and he has more money than I don't even want to get into it. But he's in a situation where money can't help him. You know what can help him? Prayer, family, being a good person. One of the last things I want to say, too, because I know a lot of it's repetitive, but it's the truth. Like, being on YouTube, this platform should be used for something. Everybody has the right to do any way that they want. But going forward, and I think Nate will agree, and I'm going to let him talk. Nate, would you agree? I'll save the last one for you. Wouldn't you agree, even that we might have two different styles and we're both striving for the same things in life, being good people, treating people right? Don't you think that it's 10 times harder to be what we're doing, trying to be positive and not being negative? So to me, as I'm sure you've seen a lot, you have friends with a big channel. I don't influence that. And like when we do this other podcast, we're going to be doing, I'm going to segue. I'm getting ready to give it to you now. So it's going to be mandatory that when people join the podcast, there's going to be no beef, just ball breaking. Seriously, like we're not going to let anybody come in and troll and do shit. Like we might joke and go back and forth, but nobody's going to ever take a threat or anything seriously. It's just not what we're trying to do. Now, with that being said, Nate, do you believe? Well, obviously, you said you believe the hardest thing is being good, but why is it so hard to just be a good person and to be accepted? Isn't that all we teach the kids growing up? Be good, be this one, don't bully people. And then it's like, where does it get lost at? You know?
I mean, there's about 1,000 answers to that one simple question.
Miss Lance.
It goes back to, I mean, all the single mother families out there, and it starts at a much younger age than anybody's focusing on. And it starts with these kids scrolling through YouTube nowadays. And I mean, if we could do one thing.
Could I ask you 1 minute? I'm sorry. Darren C4. Can I call you later? I love you, bro. Yeah, my pop passed away, and I know you sent me messages. I'm trying, dude. I was going to go on Monday, and I couldn't. You know, I got somebody in my family's fighting cancer right now, very close to me. Everything's hit me at once. But this guy right here, though, Nate, great guy, man. Lives in Florida, good dude. Mad love for you, bro. I got mad love for you, Darren, and you and your family. I will call you later. Sorry, brother. I just had to address him.
Okay.
So go ahead.
But yeah, like not having a father in the homes is probably the biggest problem across this country, followed right behind the drug problem. But if we could change one kid's frame of thought before they hit the age of 10 and whatever devious thoughts may be forming, because I got kids from 22 to 5, and I'll tell you one thing, man, there's all sorts of different influences from different age groups, and
man, look, yeah,
crazy.
Sessa, that's my big bro right there, Sessa. Rabbit's good people too. You know, do you think though, like when you have, like I have my daughter's 30, my son's 18, I have, you know, the grandkids 7 and 4. You know, I coached 25 years, so I've been around kids. I've always told kids the same thing. Remember this in front of parents and everything. Your body's your body. Nobody's allowed to touch your body. No older man or woman should be ever have a conversation with a young kid inappropriate. And I don't care if parents get mad. I've always done that before huddles and everything. I've always teach the kids, like, you know, I used to do a dance for all the little cousins, all the kids. I used to tell them, like, especially when my daughter was young, I'd tell her, not here, not here, not there. And people say, oh, that's a little weird. When you've been through some shit like that, it's not weird. Anything preventative. You know, kids, and what I'm getting at is, would you agree with me, too, that a lot of these kids out here, and even the people on the internet supposed to be adults, committing these crimes, acting like fools, there's no way these guys can be, or these girls can be educated, because an educated person wouldn't act like an a-hole or embarrass themselves because, not because they're scared to look like that. That's not what I'm saying. Because if they were doing that, that they would understand that people who do act like that are looked at by very educated people as uneducated. And actually, no matter how much education you have, when you act like something, you show yourself like that.
Yep.
you're
Because
basically
my last
yeah.
video, man, that was on a educated person that went to Arizona and became a teacher and was becoming a principal for another school and violated all those children's trust. And it's just like, man, like I'm baffled. I'm still going through that one in my head before I do another video because they're calling me the
SNS.
Dolan Diddler.
Man, I want to say this right now. You don't know though, but there's a couple people in here. These people have been so loyal. Like I
see
met
that.
Tiffany, SNS. I met them from Mike Ball, but Sess is my big bro, and even Rabbits. These people still always had my back, man, from day one when I was lied on. So I want to say thanks to you guys. But Sessy, you didn't say you wanted to come up now. He said something about coming up, but I would love to get him up here.
I mean, heck, the more the merrier.
Aaron, I love you, bro. You're my dog. I'm sorry, Nate. Yo, listen, Nate understands. I got mad love for you, Darren. You don't understand, man. You reached out. My mom died. You always reached out. My dad was sick. You always made it a chance, took the time to pop your head in. That means a lot to me, bro. And like I said, I'm always praying for you and your family. I got mad love for you, brother. I will call you later on, though. I would like to talk to you. Because I got a little time now, bro. I want to travel soon. I'm thinking September, maybe taking a trip. What do you think? Florida. He lives in Florida. So, Nate, where you live at, you're from, if anybody who doesn't know, you know what? Tell the people a little about yourself, your name.
I'm Nate G219. My name is Nathan. I'm from Northwest Indiana. Grew up in a town called Portage. It's right next to Gary, Indiana. Everybody in this country has heard of Gary, Indiana. It was the murder capital of the United States back in the 90s, early 2000s. Pretty rough place. And I did a lot of my running around and growing up after 18, running around in Gary and just doing dumb shit that nobody should be doing. Out there thinking I'm something I'm not, doing things I shouldn't have been doing, just following the wrong crowd. And
I'm sorry to scream. Go ahead.
You know, I really think a lot of it
cigar, people. Don't get nervous.
I think a lot of it honestly started because I'm not putting blame on anybody. I was the idiot. My father was working out of town to better the family. And, my mother controlling me. I was an only child. That wasn't an easy thing. 16-year-old kid, you can't control a 16-year-old kid like that. And I was out on bullshit all the time. And I took advantage of my mother not knowing any better. She grew up in a very small town in Wisconsin. So she just was really easy to con her into let me do what I wanted. And that just led into a life of addiction and just
give me one second. Just keep talking. I just got to check.
No, yeah, it just led into a life of addiction and of struggle. 10 years ago today, I was in prison. I was in Michigan City, Indiana State Prison, and a maximum security unit for selling a $20 bag of dope. And it was all because of addiction. It wasn't because I was out there being a big dope boy, a baller, like everybody wants to be. They think it's cool. It's this, it's that. It's not. I got 10 years for a $20 bag of dope. And it's not like I had the dope on me. I middlemaned it to get high for free. And to lose 10 years or up to 10 years of your life, or it was actually, I was facing more than that. But to even be facing that for such a minute situation is an eye-opener. And I could have lost my life at any day, many different times. And just to be able to be here today in a house that my wife and I own together, what I was doing 10 and 15 years ago, it's baffling. And a lot of kids need to hear this because, yeah, you can't lie. It feels good to be buzzed. It feels good to be high. But that's the devil because, I mean, that shit's just pulling you down. It's going to grab you and it's going to pull you. And if you can't maintain yourself, you can't play. You can't play. And there's people like me.
I'm glad you brought up. I'm glad. I just got to give a shout out real quick. So, Sess, I will be at that party. And Darren, if you come up to New York, when you come, I will meet you there, brother. I hope you do. That would be so great, so much, a little easier for me, and we'll have so much fun, bro, because we can go anywhere. Another thing, I just want to let you know, this Mike Ball right here, when we get off, go subscribe to his channel. His channel's about insane wheels. He's got a biker show. He was in a bike accident. He's in a bike club, but he's a great guy. No tough guy shit. He does a great show every day. He does like reviews like politics and stuff and certain things, and he's got a good following. He's a great dude. He's actually was teaching me shit, but I got so tied up with my dad at the end. So I just want to introduce you to Nate. That's Mike. Mike, that's Nate. Yeah, make sure you subscribe. He's a good dude. And there's a lot of good people, man. And the good thing is that, like, if I didn't have to deal with my parents going on and everything, and if I could have stayed consistent, like my channel's growing just off the shorts. I grain every week, but if I could be doing this every day like I was at one time, which I'm trying to strive to do that, I think I would be. But I'm grateful for everything I got. I just wanted to let you know that's Mike Ball. He's a great guy, great channel, and he's a friend of the show. And I have a lot of respect for the guy. He's moved from California to Alabama, and just like he's been doing this shit. He's a young dude, and he's always there to help anybody, man. And it's just a guy you want in your corner. Yeah, here goes his channel here, and this is his world news, geopolitics, Monday to Friday. And I'm actually going to be doing something like that here too, but mine's going to be a little bit different because he plays the video and then gives a review, and he can monetize it every time I do a reaction because he knows what to do. So that's what I've been trying to do, learn all this stuff.
There's certain things our heads don't wrap around.
Yeah,
just don't.
Mike,
we're too old for some of it.
And Mike, I want to say, man, and to everybody here, my father died. There was a lot of people that reached out that I didn't even think would. There's a lot of people that I thought would reach out and didn't. The people who I didn't think would and reached out outweighs the other ones. So you reaching out too, Mike, it means a lot to me, man. And I got a lot of respect for you and your family. And we got to talk soon, Mike. So this is my plan. Mike Ball, I'm asking you on live TV. By the way, his show's right after this, 11. Do you think maybe one day next week you can pencil me in for a little bit to do a Zoom call? And I will definitely not miss that. I will be there with bells on because
and it's on live.
Yeah, but you let me know if I can. Oh, cool. That's what's up. Thank you. All right, so look, back to that because I cut you off and I was saying, look, code cuts everybody off. When you, like with your mom, did you feel like being able to get over on your mom? Did you feel like I used to feel like bad a little bit? Like, you were doing it, but you still did it. Like I wasn't robbing or stealing. I wasn't even getting high. I was in the street making money. And one time I got caught with money. One time I got caught with something else. And, from my parents, one time I had some dope and I had some coke. And, my son, I just told, he wants to know the stories and I've been telling little bits and pieces. I never did coke, but whatever, I was selling it. I actually was holding that for somebody and my mom found it. And she was going to throw it out. And my dad grabbed her wrist and was like, he owes that to somebody. You can't do that. And he said, you in this, get the F out of my house. But he knew then that I owed it to somebody. And he also knew, too, that I would never tell her nothing like that. So he knew I'd be loyal to be around some real serious people. But he hated all that. So what I'm getting at is like my dad, I couldn't get over. You say your dad died when you were young, right?
No, my dad's he's still with us. My mother passed just months after I came out.
When you got out of prison. All right, sorry about that. So how was it though? Did your mom, was it easy to get over? Because my mom, like I could get over, but she was still like, I know you're up to something, but
no, she knew, like, especially after I got locked up a few times, like she knew, and I don't know why she would help me sometimes. I don't know if she didn't want me doing something bad or whatever the reason was. It was probably more pity than anything, knowing I'm addicted to stuff, and I just threw my life down the toilet at one point. And
how long clean do you have, bro?
Off the dope, 10 years, more than 10 years now. So
see, when I quit Oxycontin in 01. Yeah, I quit Oxycontin in 01. And believe me, I never did meth, coke, none of that shit. So I had so many surgeries. I never done it. Yeah, I never did meth, coke. See, when I did the painkillers and I had the Oxycontin, man, I really had surgeries. I was really banged up. Like, but then when you start getting used to them and they wear off,
Yeah.
I didn't break them. I didn't take them any other way. I just noticed you take more or you get weird, and it's a roller coaster ride.
Yep.
But I'll tell you, being around people, most of the people I was around died in jail. And I like what you said. That's what I like about your convictions, the way you talk, because I'm the same way. I don't, anything I've ever did in my life, am I ashamed of stuff? Yeah, but that stuff that I did and experienced and all that took me to where I'm at, you know?
Right here, right now. And
You
that's
too, brother. SNS, God bless. Be safe. So, you know, to me, it's like a double-edged sword because you have to be one way, but if you are that way, it could go the other way too. Like it's like, how do you know how to balance it? And you know, because there's two different ways. When you're around your friends and shit, you obviously can't act the way you around your parents, but it always seems like the parents would look at you and see. Because you know, my question to you now is, I'm a sober. I'm a like California sober.
Okay.
So, which is, you know, I like cannabis, but even I know, all joking aside, that's not clean time. Like, it doesn't matter if I didn't take a pill for 2020, right? No, 2000. So it's been 25 years, February 22nd. Coming up, it'll be, it was just 25 years. Wait, 2001, no, February 26 will be 25 years, no Oxycontin. But if you're smoking pot, that's not clean time. Your head is, but it's not, you know, all I'm trying to say is that, look at Sessa. He goes, I was addicted to women, so I got misled. But like, I just feel that I'd rather somebody come to me and tell me their whole story, and be an open book, because then there's nothing you got to hide, and then you don't have to wonder. And another thing too is I think that really says that people are. See, when people hold things in, and like I said, you would know more about this than me, but when people hold back, I'm not saying everything's for everybody, but when you meet people and somebody opens up and talks to you, and I'm not saying it's even common courtesy, but if somebody, oh yeah, my name's Jim, and I live over that near there. You have a car? What kind? Car. You know, people who talk to you like that, they're doing that for a reason. Number one, because maybe they don't want to share things. Two, they feel if they share things that it might go somewhere else, and their business is out. The story might be told different. Then they get nervous. Then there's the people who are so caught up in being negative and doing other bad shit that any bit of information that they have that could ever get out could be used against them. So there's people living their life that way, if you know what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah. And I've learned it takes more energy to be angry and put negative energy out there than it is to smile and just shrug it off. It takes so much more energy to be angry and to be mean than it just does to be kind. It takes so much more. Just, you don't even have to be kind. I mean, just smile, ignore. It's gonna do much for yourself.
In the recovery thing, you see all these people that there's some on YouTube that one dude will be on taking, you know, there's people on here that still, I won't say the medicine, there's people on here that take medicine that's still like a narcotic. Like, if you go to the program and you're in a sober living house, you can't take this medicine. But this said individual takes that, calls himself sober, but yet he's a dry drunk. Did you ever hear that term, dry drunk?
Absolutely.
Yeah, people who are miserable, that can't live life, and they're angry about everything. And see, I was happy before anything. I was never one of them people to be, I could be mad, I could turn a switch and be a nasty dude, but I just like being happy. I get enjoyment of seeing the kids happy, my grandkids, my kids. I like to see, you know, my parents, when they were alive, we always had family here. So it was always, you know, singing, dancing. And, you know, we always had, you know, maybe the Italian aura, but that sense of it was okay to be good. It was okay to smile. It was okay to laugh. And then now it's like on this thing and in this internet world, it's like, oh man, you can't do shit.
People
gotta
will
be
be brutal on here, man. And
exactly like if I smile, I'm weak. No, many people come at me on here.
yeah,
I don't respond because I'm not a weak person. I don't care what somebody says about me. Whatever
right.
you say about me and you don't know me,
And you're
doesn't
the
count.
judge of your sobriety because,
Yeah.
like, I know when I've been clean. I know I'm not battling those demons no more. I know I've got control of whatever I'm doing in my life, and I also know that I'm of sober stature, and I'm good out there. Like I drive a big truck. I go by the power lines and trim trees every single day. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that messed up. Not on the drugs like that. Not
No,
and
and I'm not gonna lie to you. After I had surgery, I had major surgeries and I got shot in '03. I don't say as a tough guy, I'm just saying there was times that I did take maybe a Percocet for 2 days in the hospital, you know, that after surgery. But when I came home in 2021, 2001, when I had the last back surgery, I was done with the oxy. They kept trying to give it to me. I had already weaned down to basically nothing. They had me on so much shit, bro. 560 milligrams a day. This story could go on forever and ever. And I ripped everything off me, man. I ripped the IV out. Then they came back. They were trying to give me liquid, whatever.
yep.
I said, man, it's enough. So to me, it's like you're going to have bad days. You're going to come across stuff that's going to make you want to scream, curse, say the F word, tell people get out of your face. But all I'd like to say is when people say, well, how do you do it then if I'm feeling this? But look, how does it make you feel when somebody talks to you good, right? How does it make you feel when somebody talks to you bad? So
Yep.
if you don't like, if you feel bad when people talk to you like crap, then 9 out of 10 of the times talking to somebody like that is going to make them. So
Yep.
some people can't control themselves. That's what I'm getting at. Like they come on here, they dox people, man. They run after families and do stuff that you couldn't even believe, you know? Just for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets crazy on this YouTube, and people, because they have no face, they'll say whatever they want. User number 997064 or whatever can say whatever they want because they're that user number and they've got that safe place. And it's ridiculous. Most of them won't say it under their own name or straight up to a person.
I'm glad
They won't.
glad you brought that up, though. You brought something up that I think you said it last night when I talked to you because I'm a big faith guy. I'm not a Bible pusher. I don't claim to be, Billy Graham. But one thing I am is somebody who appreciates the Lord. I appreciate my faith. I appreciate my God. I don't push him on people. What works for me works for me. But I do know
Yep.
that anybody's ever bet against them or went against them. And that's what I'm saying. Like you said something earlier about the devil. All that negative when they blame God, all the shit, when bad shit happens, stop blaming God because it's not God. It's not at all. It's the devil. And the devil's vicious, So
That he is.
like we came on here to freestyle. Nothing was planned. We just said, let's
Not
get
at
on
all.
there and shoot the shit.
Yeah.
We're starting to get used to each other.
Yeah, we've covered some real important topics just in 30 minutes. Like real
And no
important things
Diddy.
that I think both of us feel very strongly about just being men.
Oh yeah, dude. But I'll tell you what I love. It was even my girl was like last night when it was like you were talking about your when you were saying it to your girl, whatever you were saying to your wife.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
She
crazy.
thought I was talking to her. She was in the shower. She's what? I'm like, I'm
What's
not
the
yelling at you.
all right, look, I'm over here now. What's your Nate 1-2? What is it?
Nate G219.
Oh, G. What's the 219 reference? I know
That's
that
my
number.
area code. My
And I'm
area code, man.
215.
Gary, Indiana area code 219. It's the first county into Indiana from Chicago. Once you leave
Oh,
Chicago, head to
you're
Indiana.
almost at 1,000 subs, man.
Yeah. Yep. Almost.
Gotta get you up there.
Yep. It's growing there, and I know this is going to help some, and every little bit does.
Yeah.
Every little
Especially
bit
what
does.
we got. Hold on. I'm looking for. How tall are you?
5'11", about. I think I've shrunk some.
that. I never know how to get the. I'm trying to get. Oh, here it is. Hold on. All right. All right. Here we go. That's the link to your channel. I put the link to your channel in the chat, man. Whoever didn't subscribe, go give him a sub.
Thank you.
Go give him a sub, man. And see, that's what I'm saying. When I used to come on in the morning, man, I mean, I'm never claiming it. But the one time I came on at 3 o'clock, I was at the waterfall, bro. I had 200 people in my chat all over the world. And it says 1 here, but I know that's not true because when I just looked on here, it just said 10 people. So I don't know what's going on, man.
I don't know how that works at all because I've done it a few times and I could see 10 people talking and it'll only say 1 or 2 or something. And I think I've hit newest comments or something and that'll reload them. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've done one. If you go to the comments and go to that, how you filter it and newest comment.
Hold on a second. See, here you go. Look, it's not even. See what I'm saying? Look, it's not even showing live on my channel. That thing's supposed to be lit up red, right? My avatar is supposed to say live under it when you're live. It's not even on. Mother humper. Hold on.
Are you signed in on a different device?
No, well, this is the laptop, and I'm on my phone, but it's not showing live. It usually shows the live.
I mean, my phone says live.
It was no. Yours does. Mine, for some reason, doesn't, and it's still recording. We're still on here, still going.
Yeah, and it still says on mine that it's going live. I mean, that's all it says.
That's what I'm saying. They had me all messed up with this algorithm, man. So, like what I just said, it says 4 people, and it just said 1.
Yeah.
On the phone, there was 20-some views on there, so it's definitely lying. But anyway. Yeah. So, look, today's a shoot the shit day.
Yes.
And I'm glad, so what's your plans going forward, man? What would you like to?
I would like to get some education for those kids that are lost, some centers, youth centers, like
well, you're on the same
there's not
page
enough
me,
for
bro.
kids to do. There is not enough.
Bro.
They need positive role models. And, a lot of people look at an ex-con as a bad person just because they're an ex-con. Well, I can guarantee most of us feel and have a lot of the strong feelings the same as us and just had made a simple mistake. And I had explained what I went to prison for. It wasn't anything very serious.
Junkyard actually come over and spend the night over here, and we moved it over and stuff like that. So I've been meaning to put it back. Well, thank you for making sure that I do that.
All right.
Humongous win for that 50 bomb, dude. That was in fucking insane by Anson, dude. And we got Charles
Duncan before.
Hate it, fuck it off. Good to see you, by the way. Hopefully you're enjoying your Saturday morning over there in Australia, down under, my man. Good to see you. Brother Bees are dropping a 20. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Making it rain like a motherfucker in here, dude. I was not honestly, I wasn't expecting this level of I very much appreciate you guys. That is absolutely insane. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for real. We got Lappy up in the building. Good morning to you. Good to see you. Pudding Cup as well. We got Tiffany Lance as well. Chase, my man. Good morning to you as well. Let's see. We got Steve Posey as well. Good morning to you. Good morning. We got Miss Lotus. And yes, they changed everyone's names, you guys. So what's up, Prez? I'm thinking that's Prez up in here. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning as well.
1 second.
I'm trying to get through real quick. No Lucy, no like. No, she's here. She's here running around. She's actually right here. She's right here. Look, she's sitting right here. Say hi to everybody. She's like,
hold on 1 second.
All right.
I'm trying to nap and shit, cuh. She was in the frame. Yeah, she's here. Pudding Cup. Good morning to you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it.
I'm sorry, man. I was trying to get out of there. So,
I'll do things sometimes and pop some shit up. Not a clue.
So listen, if we do this podcast tonight, you should come on there with me and Cuzzo, and he wants to, like, I've never really been interviewed. One time a guy did something, but I mean, you know, certain things I'll never talk about. But as far as like, I guess I do have a story too. I mean, I didn't do time like you guys, but mostly all my friends did. I mean, when I got caught in 95, I was 22 years old, man. And, you know, we had a lot going on and it wasn't even my shit. So I took the rap for the case. I became a felon. I'm actually getting my pardons in the works right now. I've been fighting this thing for years where they went through all my records. They went through all my everything, man, to everything where I farted, shit, breathed. And by the grace of God, after 30 years, I had a nonviolent crime. I never got an ARD or nothing. They had no wiretap surveillance. The stuff that they had, I wasn't in. I wasn't on the phone tap. I wasn't on the surveillance. So I'm just glad it's coming to fruition. But the main thing for me at youth centers and education is because, like I was telling you, we got to educate these kids, man.
Yes.
It's easily influenced. You know, you're looking at a guy who might be a blood crip, gang member, gangster, biker, and you see that aura that surrounds a mother humper. And if especially you said about, or who was that you talking about the parent in the house, right? It's imperative for the
yes.
So if you don't, I think a father's more imperative. A woman, yeah, because I mean, a girl can learn cooking and all that from her mom and shit, homemaking, but a guy, yeah,
but the house here.
my son lived with me.
Yep.
You know, and no dig at his mom. My mom was here, like, so.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think the man, the structure, that strength to be respectful, like I think a man can teach a son and a daughter that.
Yes.
And I think when you don't have that in the house, that's a very, very bad. Oh, look at this. Yo!
What's up?
It's
What's
a
up?
very bad outlook and a very bad outcome because the outlook is, look, like I said, man, people say, like when I see people around other people's kids that are taking care of them, I love that shit, man. Like my daughter's friend's getting ready to adopt a child. She's only 20-something years old. And she wants to do it. And she's about to do it. And to me, that's beautiful. And to all the people out here that think that that's not, there's something wrong. So, well, all I'm saying about, I believe the father, it's so imperative to be in the house. And this thing that I'm trying to build, this youth center, will be structured as that. It would be definitely like my father's story, came from Italy with nothing. He was 15, came here. They blew all my grandfather's boats up in Italy after they invaded. I got a story right there. My dad's life story. Then he worked in a sweatshop, went in the military, adopted the American flag, and then he was in the Carpenters Union. Then he got hurt. He went through a lot of stuff in his life too. But the man, the structure of that, you know, open doors for women, being somebody good, even if you're around your homies and you act like an idiot. I was always taught to just be like, say if you're around a bunch of dudes and you're in front of a store and a lady's walking by or a hot girl and somebody, and they start really disrespecting. Like my uncles and dudes I was around, the old heads, didn't matter. If they were my family, if they're bikers, you know, they would always say, yo, what are you doing? Like,
yeah,
don't ever talk. See what that kid's doing. Don't ever do that. And I'm not just that one example, but so many of them examples in life are so imperative, especially to young kids, you know, boys, because they're easy influence. And the education part, that's the biggest thing of what I want to do. If these kids don't read and don't educate themselves, they're not going to know the difference. They think picking up a gun, putting whatever they do on their back, and I'm not saying nothing wrong. Look, whoever's in a gang, if you're on that your club, whatever, that's your business because you're probably living and standing on it. The problem I have a lot of that is these dudes get in there and they don't stand on shit because they ain't shit. Then they start ratting and messing everything up. And that shows not only just loyalty, but it shows that there's no family structure. Because if you had that in your life, it would bother you to have somebody you call brother or whatever to hurt him in another way, or take somebody from his kids, or to just live a life to where some guys will start banging your girl or rob you or whatever. There's so many things that go into play. But the one thing that's so imperative is that father figure in that life. And I'm not saying any kid who didn't have that, he's got an excuse to do whatever. All I'm saying is being a father, coaching. That's all I really want to do on here, man, is give game and help people. And, you know, because a lot, but there's also, because you know, too, there's also those parents up here that know it all. You can't tell them nothing. They think they know everything. You know, they'll be smoking weed in front of their kid. They'll be cursing, fighting. Like, and to me, it's just, it's crazy to me. So, you know, I'm glad that Cuzzo introduced me to you, and I'm glad that we got trying to put this thing together, man, because I think we got a lot of potential. Look, Seth
What's
is
up,
in here.
Nate?
How you doing, man?
Seth is in
What's
here.
up, bro?
So, what's up, brother? What are you doing?
Nothing. Ended up picking up a nighttime job, just cleaning some offices, and then I'm gonna go to work here in a little bit to my actual job. It's my last day, though.
What were you staying with over there?
Which time?
I seen you staying. You were staying in
some chairs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's funny. My son just went down today. He's had to go. They called him up for a piss test, and he was all nervous. I said, "What are you nervous for?" He said, "I think I might have hit my friend's pen like 2 weeks ago." I said, "Dude, you're 130 pounds. You never did a drug in your life."
The union passed a new law with all them like 4 months ago. You can have your medical marijuana card and smoke, and
well, here's the thing though.
As long as you're not an electrician, I think electricians they still have to.
Well, look, he's going in the carpenter's test, and even though he passed, we got the good ones at CVS, the expensive ones. He passed both of them, right? Clear as day, negative. But I said, "Damn, man," I said, "Son, you know," I said, "I read somewhere too that," I said, "Remember that day I showed you, I had hash and I shook your hand." I said, "Hash is 30 times harder than weed." That might be a false negative, because when I shook your hand, if that hash oil got in your hand, man, like I even forgot. Like I just bullshitting him, dude. He was starting to get nervous. You're a fucking asshole. But he's good. He's up there now. I hope he should be done by now. So
that's what's up. Yeah, I'll start Monday.
Good. I had a buddy that just went through an incident the other day. He was He was worried.
Cigarello.
See, you guys at least have medicinal over there. We don't have anything legal in Indiana.
Yeah, I heard that.
Man, it's horrible.
Well, you know why? You know why Indiana don't? Because you guys are the reason why your state is the reason why this whole fucking country's flooded with guns.
I know.
And that's the truth.
But it's a little loose here. It's a little loose.
How is it though? Like, is it really like? I've never been there. Obviously, I know guys that've been there, but I've heard stories that. Look, this is a story I've heard. I'll never say who or what, but one time I was in Philly. These the other days, dude pulls up. He's got his minivan, pulls up, pulls the seat down, then he's got this little box inside the back seat, right? It's like a thin box. He opens it up. He pulls out all these fucking AR-15s, AKs. Yeah, probably about 10 of them. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He was like, oh, man, I just came back from Indiana. I'm like, he's like, bro, went up there, seen a dude. He didn't care about nothing but money.
Yep.
This was 20 years ago, so I'm thinking back then it was probably really easier, you know.
Actually, they just made the laws easier. Last year they passed open carry.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But for you, you're restricted, right? A felon, you can't carry.
I am restricted, but I am in the process of getting my record expunged right now. I'm working on that, trying to save up the money. It's not a whole lot. Just got to get it done. I got all the paperwork ready, and
Cuzzo, you can't do that, can you? Can you go for a pardon?
No,
right?
Well, no, if I wouldn't have used the gun to hurt or kill anyone, then yeah, I would have a chance. But since I used the gun and it resulted in someone losing their life,
now a pardon you can get, but not an expungement.
Yeah.
A pardon would be a governor, president, or whatever, but an expungement is different. Yeah.
This is how bad it went, Nate. Cuzzo might remember the story. Long story short, when all these idiots were talking shit about me on YouTube, this one dude said, oh, I'm going to do a live, and I got 2 guys that know code, and said he told. When I heard who the guys were, I didn't get up there and try to stop them. I wanted them to do the live. I called the two guys up, and it was funny. I said, yo, I said, first, because they said they were coming to my house. And I said, look, you guys are grown men. I'm a grown man. If you really want to take it to that level, and that's what you're thinking you want to do, the only resolve is the fist fight. I said, then both of you meet me, like 2 men, 3 men, put on the, whatever, get it in, shake hands, move, and just that's it. I'm not looking to do that, but I'm still a man. Nobody's going to threaten me, come to my house, all the shit.
It's just people are bored.
Short,
Yeah.
People are bored.
This
They're
was
bored
2-3
and want
years ago.
attention.
But check it out. Why do you think that they did that? Why do you think they were trying to blow me up? They're rats. The one dude testified against the kids that shot him, and the other dude was supposed to be doing like, I don't know, 25 to life, and he did a 5-piece, and he had the one case he had 3 controlled buys out of state, over state lines as a convicted felon. He was out on 2 bails, 2 different cases, and there was a gun involved. Bro, you would have been doing whatever.
Yeah.
So once I hit them with that, I guess they never wanted to do it. But all I'm saying is people can say and do anything, man. They make shit up. And that's why I think education is so important. If you don't educate yourself and know the truth, you just listen to sound bites and you listen to these people that just, oh, well, the earth is flat. Okay, it's flat because they say that. Oh, the earth is round. Okay, well.
Goodness.
It's
Man, that
just
one
like
kills me.
anything.
It's like Trump just proved it wasn't flat last week. I'm just saying. They flew west.
Yeah.
They flew west. They bombed from this. They went from east to west like they never do. And that was the whole flat earthers. How come they never go overseas going west? It's like, because it's much further.
2 guys walked from India to the border over there in Texas. I don't know if they walked the whole way, but they claimed that because they were saying, oh, the earth's flat. We walked from India. But anyway, Cuzzo, so now I saw you live last night. That was pretty cool. Is that somebody you did time with?
Yeah, I was one of my old heads in prison.
Hold on a second.
When I came in, I was a kid. And he was one of the dudes that he was actually from my area. So, when you get to prison, anyone that's from your neighborhood or county,
Yep.
you're gonna link up. It's just usually 9 times out of 10 for some reason they're on some scumbag shit.
What jail what jail were you at together?
Monohoy.
That was funny. I thought it would have been a black dude, but I seen a white dude. I said, okay.
Yeah, man, I chilled with everyone. And we explained that how you got gangs in our prisons and then you got cars.
Did you know Eddie Plumley?
Eddie Plumley.
White boy, Southwest, tall, tattoos. He's back now. He's looking at another time.
No.
Man, he did a lot of time too, man. So what you're doing now, I don't know if you want to do something later, but the idea that you had, you were telling me, I don't want to say it on here, but that's a good idea.
We
man,
could talk about it if you want.
Well, and this don't believe this too here, because when I just checked it, it's not showing. It's not even showing live when I go on YouTube, but it's showing that there's 30. Now it's at 40. 40 people viewed it. So I don't know what's going on. Cause you know all the algorithm stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I sure don't.
Dude, I do. It's just it's hard doing it now that I'm doing positive content. If I was still on my scumbag shit, yeah, I could do all the little algorithm tricks, but I'm not trying to.
It's like, yeah, I got horror stories all day long. I don't want to relive them. I'm sick of reliving that shit.
It's certain titles, and certain thumbnails. It's easy if you know what you're doing to get people to click and view and all that. But when you're trying to, put positive stuff up, it's gonna get hid.
Yeah, it's hard. And then to stay positive and keep it on the same spin, it's hard to do. And to keep the attention span on positivity is hard.
Here's what I don't believe. I don't believe that there's more negative people than positive people.
No.
I believe that there's a lot of people that won't admit certain things or keep the shit face because to them it's going to make other people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
But I
I
tell you
used to be
what,
like that.
when
When
you
I first
transform,
when I
when
first
you
started changing, I wasn't trying to let anyone
yeah.
know.
But you know
Yeah.
what the good
Because
thing
I'm
now,
like, people are gonna look at me like a Vic. They're
but
like,
now
people are gonna
people
look at
see
me like
that.
I'm weak around here. I'm more worried
Nah,
about people I
nah.
live around, not
See,
YouTube.
that's
But
another thing too. When as you think that people might look at you weak or whatever, a lot of people are looking at you like this too. You probably thought of it, or maybe you didn't. Like people are saying, "Yo, he switched up. He's being real cool, man. Oh man, that just means he might be ready to explode at any time." Like
yeah, I was
they
getting
think
that
that
too.
too. You know what I'm saying? So look, all I'm saying is what you're doing is good, and you're gonna attract more and different people. You're gonna attract better people. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. And we're gonna blow this shit up. And to be honest, I always tell you, it's not that I'm saying don't thank your girl. I'm not saying don't thank this one or that one. All I'm saying is there's two people responsible for what you're doing right now, God and you, and that's it.
Yeah.
And everybody else is an ad. It's a feature, man. It's like you're the song, you're the artist, and then everybody else is features, man. Like you're the man. It's no diss to anybody. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you have to understand how much time you're putting in. And when you do that, and what comes with that is, the little pain, the suffering, there's a reward at the end of that, man. The Lord will bless you, and the blessings will be bigger, they'll be stronger. And then you'll see the difference when you start getting to that point, which I'm sure you've been there before. You'll get back and you stay where you're at, like really living it, feeling it. Man, I'm telling you, man, it's a great feeling. You feel, look, I just lost both my parents in a year. If I didn't have faith, I would probably be ripping and running again. I'm just being honest. Like I would have made an excuse to do something, and
I do want to on here,
go ahead.
Nate. I really appreciate you, man, because you didn't have any clue that I had a platform before.
I thought you had looked familiar at one point, and I had watched you then since you were on Death before,
Yeah.
and you guys had actually made me want to start my channel. And just like some of the guys I was in with and shit like that, my first video was honestly my biggest video. This guy got locked up for a crime at 13 years old. It was a double, and it was bad. But he was locked up at 15. Was just released last year at 50.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
And his earliest possible release date was when he turned 100, up until he was resentenced last year. So,
Wow. Yeah.
and there was a lot of mixed feelings on that one. He was on MSNBC, the Lockup Raw in Indiana State Prison. He was on that as Indiana's youngest convicted killer at that time. There's plenty more now.
Yeah.
It's like a goal for some of the kids now.
Was that
Yeah,
was that
Indiana's
documented?
bad now with the youngins, man. Like
Man.
I pay attention to everything
Yeah.
going on in our state to state with the gang politics with
Yeah. And if I was still
listen.
out there gangbanging, we got a war with Chicago right now with
Yeah,
the GDs
yes.
and the beaties. And I'm like, we're warring with Chicago. Like, why are we doing that? Like, that's stupid.
Perfect
But we're
example
here.
of a youngin who's advertising everything in your area.
Yeah.
Drill rapper Screwy G.
Yes. Yeah. He's from Gary. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And man, all these youngins, they self snitch 24/7, but
They
that
do.
open gun carry policy, they're using that to the
Yep.
fullest extent.
Oh, I
Every
see them too.
video, they're all like,
You can't
Oh, I
drive
see.
through Gary and not see somebody, at least a couple people with an AR on their back or
Right.
in their satchel, whatever.
yeah.
Is it St. Louis too? Is New Orleans you can't carry like that, right? Is it St. Louis?
Yeah, St. Louis. Yeah, yeah.
St.
St.
Louis,
Louis.
them young dudes. I seen the documentary. These dudes, a white boy rapper. They call him something. He's got 2 bodies already. He's probably 19 years old. They all have pistols on them with.
Yeah,
like,
that's CTS Lil Wick.
Yeah, well, that little dude.
That's
let
who
me tell
you're
you something
talking about, and he just caught a homicide and
again.
got away with it.
Yeah,
he's out. He's rapping again.
he seems thorough. That kid, like he don't seem like he's playing tough guy. Like he was talking like I thought he
No,
would speak
because
different.
he's in a war zone. Like
Yeah.
you got kids that they see this, they're not living it or anything. They see it. They see the money that dudes are making. They see all the clout they're getting. They want to portray it, but then you have the kids that are actually really living it, going through it, they're suffering.
They are.
You know, but they're getting money coming in, but it's because they have to self snitch on themselves. They have to let you know, I did this. I did this to this person. We did this to this person, and it's an FBI's dream.
Yeah, I mean, look at
They
Lil
need
Durk.
recognition, bro. They need recognition. I'll tell you another thing, too. Why they're so stupid. All of us were stupid, too, because when you're young, your motto is, man, fuck that dude. I do what I want. I don't follow nobody's shit. I blaze my own trail, like whatever. It might look the same, but I'm me, he's him. But that's what leads you to that life. You see another person, you try to emulate what they're doing, want to emulate what they got, and you start following that path. Before you know it, you're almost trying to be that person. I'm not saying you want to be everything about them, but you know, it's like the whole momentum is the same. And then sooner or later, that dude gets knocked off, or later in life, he's doing lifetime. It's the same cycle. And then the dude gets knocked. Then if he has a felony, he can't get a gun. So now he's got to be careful. He's on his toes. Now he's carrying a gun without something, without a license, without everything. He's got a record. Now he's got the revolving cycle. If he's getting high, he's depressed. He's thinking, you know, this, that, the other thing. I'm still going to stay. Nobody going to tell me nothing. I'd rather be carried by 6 to judge by 12. I understand all that. But when you get to a part in your life, like when you start hitting like your 30s and 40s, you got to start realizing that pick up a book and educate yourself, because, you know, some of the baddest dudes in the world and some of the meanest dudes and some of the strongest, the richest, people probably never even heard of them, because people don't want to talk about shit. Rather than when you're young, you just run your mouth. That's another thing we need to do. Like these kids, if we can ever get the message across, like, I know it looks cool doing all that on camera, but like you said, everything is documented.
Well, the
like
money too.
That no
These
jumper
kids
show. All
see that the money comes with it.
Yeah. Shit.
You know, these
Go
kids
viral.
see like, wow, you get paid a lot of money from YouTube if you're broadcasting all this.
Damn straight.
Yeah. I mean, King Von, look at him, man. Like,
they don't care, man.
He's gone now, but I mean, that dude, he's known of 13 bodies.
Yeah.
And there's plenty more. I've met at least a half dozen kids in my county jail or Lake County jail that 19, 20 years old, just got out of doing a juvenile life sentence. Just got done, caught a murder or a double at 12 and got a juvenile life sentence, automatic release when you're 21.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that Chicago or Illinois especially has that Indiana does not offer. If you're hit, you're hit. Like,
yeah. But look at this though. You talk about Chicago, right? Let me tell you this. Chicago has one of the lowest teenage reading, writing. I mean, you got kids in high school over there that reading at 3rd grade level.
Yeah.
It's so bad over there. Look, whether you like Trump or not, people voted, and they said they went to all the town meetings. They don't want the mayor. They say, yo, we want this policy. Get them immigrants. They're taking they're taking our medicine at the hospitals. They're overrunning our schools. They're in 5-star hotels. You know what I'm saying? They're getting $1,000 checks. Some are getting cars. They wasted so many money. It's not the immigrants I'm talking about. It's the fact that when you mix all that, and then you got kids and people getting frustrated, and these kids, if they would be educated to know, like, especially 1st to 8th grade, if they're really educated and paid attention and had the teachers were doing their job the way they should, and they wouldn't let these schools be overrun with these kids, you know, and the parents, well, a parent gets mad, you can't hit my kid, you can't talk to my kid. I mean, don't hit the kids, but that's why it goes back to the father. A strong father in the house around his kid goes to school, messes up. As long as he didn't throw the first punch, kid's not going to be in trouble. But you don't have a lot of that. You got a lot of kids being brought up with single moms who ain't educated. So they don't know the difference. They think what they see is just the way it is. But they don't know.
Me personally, it's way deeper than that to me.
No, I know. I'm just giving it
like
on the surface.
It used to be like that, but the world has changed. And now they are monetizing this. You get paid for this. And the new generation, they don't want to work.
Yeah,
They
you're
don't
right.
want to work. All they see growing up from when they're babies and first getting their hands on a tablet and up, all they see is all these assholes doing asshole shit
Yep.
and showing off millions of dollars, jewelry,
Yeah.
cars. So just like, maybe when we were all kids and we looked up to an athlete or, a movie star or someone and seen the life they had, and we're like, we want that.
Yeah.
Well, now these kids, all they're seeing is asshole after asshole doing asshole shit and becoming millionaires.
Yeah.
So it's really not the kids' fault. I mean, like I said, from the first time they get their hands on a tablet, that's how they view the world now.
And as a parent, we filter my 5-year-old. We filter most of her. We
Yeah,
limit
my
her
daughter
time on
does that to
tablets.
my
We don't.
yeah.
Now my 13-year-old, she gets a tablet for school, and she lives with her grandfather about an hour south of me. So I don't have as much control over her tablet. I can't filter. And she's a 13-year-old girl
Yeah.
that I've never had custody of. She lives down south. And yes, I spend time with her, but I can't just take things away from her because I'm not there 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully understand that.
I don't. My 22-year-old's not like most of the 22-year-olds that I've met. He's an amazing kid. He's going into his 5th year of college.
Damn, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like these 3 kids are so different, man. Like, it's insane. Like, I'm so scared for my girls, though, man. Like, my boys, like, I'm okay.
But
These
Nate,
girls
don't you think, Cuzzo, I think you're 1,000% right. I would just like to add, maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, one thing, we all learn from each other, man. You got a lot of knowledge in places I do, Nate. That's why it's good that we're doing this thing and going forward with it. I'm just saying that, I know these kids want to do everything. All I'm saying, when is it ever like these 50-year-old rappers with their pants hanging off their ass talking about, I'm a gangster, I'm a G. Like
Jim
bro,
Jones.
exactly,
Yeah,
my
I
man.
mean-
He said he wants to battle Nas. Is he crazy, dude? like I watch it because I want it for the new clothing line. I want to be up hip on all the style, but
He's
I'm like,
definitely on that style, but yeah, what he was saying when it came to Nas, that blew my.
This is our future. Hold on one second.
You're straight
People
up lying
underestimate
and
Nas
making
by
shit.
so much. That man was like one of the most lyrical rappers in the early 2000s. That dude was an amazing rapper. His lyrics were great.
My son had to take his first piss test. I know he's going to pass. He passed the ones here, but he's such a good kid, man. He's just like, he wants to work. It's all he wants to do, man. He wants to work.
You're proud, man. That's what's up. You're happy for him and excited.
Yeah,
that's
my
a
mom,
good feeling.
Well, my mom and dad died. They were like parents to him, man. So I am fucking proud.
Yeah, man.
I'm good. No, I'm good, man. I'm good.
No, I feel, bro. Feel that. That's your son,
thing is
man.
this, though. Oh yeah, I will when I have. I'm just saying, like, all I want to do here is build something to where I know that any of my kids, any friends, family, look at this shit, like, they're not gonna look at it and say, "Oh, he was up there making a fool of himself." Like, there's a message here, man, and it definitely takes longer when you're doing it positive, but I think that's what sustains. And I would love to open this youth center thing. And another thing I want to do, Nate, what I've always wanted to do is I want to start selling books. There's a profit in books, but like, there's so many people that don't have access to things, man, that you wouldn't even believe. Like, and they would have blamed Trump. He's cutting everything, man. This shit, every politician does whatever. But this is way before that. Like,
every politician,
look at all the hospitals are closing. They got 20,000 churches closed down that aren't being used. So I said, I said, let me use them and open a little gym for the kids. It's not costing anything. Taxes are paid. I don't even think they pay taxes. Oh, no, we can't. I had the insurance all worked out. All right, I'm watching. Go ahead. Be careful. That's my grandson. He just came up. He's going next door. But, like, I make sure he reads. He's 7. He reads nonstop. My son, that's why he passed the carpenters. I beat it in his head, man. I taught him how to read at like 2.5. I taught him through street signs.
Yep.
Girls are harder, man. They're a little rougher. But, you know, I think that Cuzzo, if you were in this position, what you're trying to do now, if it was a year and a half ago, I don't think you could have did both the same way I couldn't. Like, I feel like everything's happened. Like, look what just took place in my life. Look at your life and look at Nate. I mean, even though Nate tried to rob us on YouTube and steal our cameras, it's like, I'm just no, but what I'm saying is, like, it's the time, man. God works that way. He puts people together for a reason. So, you know, I'm looking forward to all this shit.
I am too, man. This is definitely some good voices I've definitely wanted to talk to, because I've watched both of you for some time now, whenever I see you. And I definitely like you guys' stuff. I always have.
Well, I definitely though, like, Cuzzo, look, I'm getting ready to start getting down. I got this underwater drone. I have I got a couple other things, but I really want to see. This is what I used to do. When I first started, I don't have a lot of them up there. There's one from North Philly in Kensington. I just walked up talking to people. But see, now the guys doing that recordings, you see them down Kensington, the dealers are starting to shake them dudes down, telling them, yo, get off.
Oh,
yeah, they're getting mad.
I know a lot of that, actually. Like, so
yeah.
Anyone that's a YouTuber, right? That, because, you know, everyone's seeing, oh, you getting 1 million views every time. You go down Kensington, do something, you're getting 1 million views. Well, the dude's running the blocks, and that's how Philly is. It's by block. And there's a person who controls the block. You might not think that. You might think it's all chaotic and disorganized, but it's not.
Is that enough paper?
And yeah, these YouTubers that think they can just come down and do whatever, they're getting shook down. We know what you're gonna make. We're not letting you film unless you break us off. So if you're not busting us down right now, you're not filming. Like,
listen, when I went down there, it was the winter, and I don't want to talk tough because I was ready. I had a little pocket knife on me, but I had a Bible in my hand. I was going to a church down there.
And we can go down whenever. I got homies down there. We can film.
Yeah, no, listen, I went down there. Then this dude's whistled. He's like, yo, old head. I had a mask on. He didn't know if I was an old head. He goes, come down here. I said, what's down there? He goes, come down here. I said, man, I'm doing little interviews trying to help good words for the kids. He's like, oh, come down here. I got some words for the kids, and I got something for you. Come down here. I said, it's all good, homie. I got you on the next one. He was laughing. He was like, you know, it was funny because he knew that I knew it was up. If I would have went down there, it would have been some other shit. But it went good. And the last dude I interviewed, it was 3 people. So you have any words of wisdom you want to give to the kids? And he said something about, like, you'll be judged by you'll be known from your actions or judged by something. It was real fucking strong ass game, man. I was like, and that's all I ever wanted to do, because I do that in life. Just go up to random people, talk to them.
Code.
And
you don't remember when I sent the youngin down there to do a live, and them dudes put a gun to him, and I had to literally tell the dude, this is all live. This is live.
He got the McDonald's and shit. Whatever happened to that kid, man?
He got locked up and just started doing wild shit. But me and him went half and half to buy a bunch of food from McDonald's and pass it out to the homeless. Now I'm in Pittsburgh. He's there on the ground, but he's on my live. So,
I gave him $20 too. I don't know what he did with it.
No, he used it. So he's buying all these cheeseburgers and stuff. Well, 2 of the dudes running the block, they ran down on him right on live, bro. I had a gun to him and shit. Yeah. And I had to literally get him to turn the phone so I could talk to these dudes, let them know who I'm affiliated with, and I sent them down there, and then they let him go.
Okay.
But, like, that's how wild it
he was probably done for the night, huh?
Yeah.
But he probably should have introduced himself or something. You know what I mean? Like, yo,
he didn't know that shit was. You know, he wasn't.
He was about to find out. I mean,
See,
Look,
yeah,
the
you
crazy
can't just
thing
go to
is, though,
neighborhoods like that if you don't know. I mean,
you know what's the good thing though? We got things on our hands. We got God with us. We got time on our hands, and we got another thing. There's so many people that are willing to listen and want to learn and want to, understand all this shit, man. And the youth, people say, "Oh, the youth, oh, they make jokes." It's always that's what I hate about you. If you say youth or anything, people always no Diddy. Like you have to say all that shit. Like to me, if anybody hurts a kid.
you shouldn't have
You
to
don't have
say
to worry about the government. You got to worry about, you got to pay that off. See, people think that whatever you do in your life, you're just going to get away with. When it's time to get to that gate, he's going to say, watch this TV over here. Your whole life's going to come before your eyes. And he's going to say, what'd you do? How'd you treat people? And if you were a jerk off, you're probably going to hit the button. You're going to go down. I mean, I don't think that people are just going to be able to treat people any way they want. And there's going to be a good result. And say if that's not the case and we're all wrong. God, I know you're real. But I'm just saying, hypothetically. So that means that all these people out here ripping and running, talking junk, who don't believe or whatever, and they say, oh, yeah, well, it's not true. It's not true. And they do whatever. They're being miserable because what I've observed over time at 52, some of these people really like this shit, man. It becomes all they know. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. If you stop it when they're young, it won't manifest. But look, my sister just got done yelling at me on the phone. She's crazy. I mean, I love her. That's a different argument. But there's some people that just love to, like if I tell her one thing, it goes left all the time. Like I don't argue with her. I hang the phone up. But there's so many people that, so what I'm getting at, if they can't articulate a point, and they can't say something the right way or explain something, the next best thing to do is go to being an asshole, threatening people, and especially when it looks that when people say, oh, yeah, this guy's FAT, I don't even say that shit no more. I don't say the R word when it comes to people who are slow. I don't say none of that shit. I'm very media trained, as you would say, but people who say that shit is a reflection of themselves. And you still learn that in life. Even 52, I'm still learning how many people are really unhappy with themselves. They make it look like they are, but they're not, and they take it out on other people. And when you do that, when you take it out on other people, and you do that every day of your life, your kids see that. Your kids inherit everything. They emulate everything they see in their house. Whatever parents do, they emulate. Mm-hmm. They take it in. They process it. They remember. It's like it goes into like a little flash drive in the back to when they're ever up against that situation. The first thing they go to.
This is how my mom acted that day. This is okay. Or how my dad acted that day. That's okay to act like that. I've seen my mom or dad act like this on so many occasions, and it's okay because they get away.
Also, you said it earlier, though. Kids got to realize, not to cut you off, I didn't mean to cut you off, that they're not a pussy. If you're being a good dude and you're not stepping up to just fight every dude with your fist or your way, letting a motherfucker disrespect you or say, oh, you disrespected me, or look, when you're in jail, it's a whole different game. But on the street, how many dudes in jail right now wish how many Death said it? I was watching Death. He said 35, maybe 40% of all the inmates, I think he said a bigger number, would probably not be in jail if they just walked away from a situation. Yes. Meaning not engaging. So when you see people,
well, they got a word for it now, and it's a cool word.
What is
crash out?
Crash out.
Oh, crash!
I'm about to crash out. That means you're about to throw your life away over some dumb shit. That's what that really means.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
No, not even that. Like, man, it's a whole genre right now. It's
same with backdooring.
Yep.
Like we talk about loyalty.
Yeah.
These youngins, and I went through it when I was doing the whole music label and studio. Soon as money started coming in,
shit.
they tried to smoke me.
I remember that shit.
Yeah,
and I was trying to help all them.
Yep.
Yeah, but look how that worked, and that was God, bro. That was God that swept you right up out of that situation. But you know what's funny though? It's real funny. One more thing I want to say, like, it's so sad that somebody could even argue in front of kids, or somebody could, fight with somebody or do something, or like even fist fights. I mean, sometimes you're younger, you do shit, you can't control yourself, but you learn from your mistakes. You don't repeat the behavior. Well, when kids see that behavior repeating as they get older, just like prison recidivism rate, everything becomes a cycle. And that's why kids have a hard time. It's a hard cycle to break. You know why? Because they don't have the tools to break it. The tools for that is education, which is if they had the education and they understood doing this and doing that, and knowing that if you don't sell drugs, you're not a bitch. If you don't pick up a gun, you're not a bitch. But then it is hard to where, like he was saying earlier, the neighborhoods are so bad. Everybody's got a pistol, people robbing people. I understand all that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm 52. I got a felony. I'm fighting for it right now. I was in the hood yesterday. They just killed a dude 2 blocks away. Like, there's always something going on. But I believe you walk with God, anything can happen at any time. But, for the most part, most people are educated. I'm not saying it's going to save everybody, but it will help you make, like, an educated person would know that there's nothing good that goes on after 12 o'clock that can't go on before 12 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like, it's just simple things and simple game.
I personally don't think that everything I say and talk about positive is going to sink into people right away. And a lot of us, we have to learn the hard way for some reason. We just have to. We have to go through our own things in life. But my hope is, like, just right now, all of us talking about this, there might be someone that later down the road, they might remember, like, dang, I remember hearing these dudes talk about this, or I remember hearing Nate explain this. I remember Code saying this. I remember Cuzzo saying that. Not everyone is going to watch any of our content and be like, man, I'm changing my life right now.
No, but to those
it's
people
planting a seed, because everyone else is planting bad seeds on here.
Well, I got this thing going in my head right now while this is on. I want to piggyback off of that. See, the thing is, what most people don't realize too, even us at one point, that even if a kid doesn't get it and it doesn't sink in, right? If you see him one time and he's doing the same shit 2 times, 3 times, if it's the same notion, it gets worse every 3rd time. That's usually a kid that needs a lot of work. Sometime a kid will do something, he'll learn, he'll make a mistake, he won't. But what I'm getting at is all that. I think what goes deeper than that, I believe what you're saying, but I think what's, runs with that concurrent is that when kids grow up and they're fat shamed, or they look in the mirror, they don't like what they see, if they have some acne and they're overweight, or if they don't have money, they don't have the best shoes. Like, remember, school's the worst, man. School beats you down. My son, one time they asked him, "Where's your mom?" or something. He was young, and I said, "Son, don't worry about that, man." Like, I always built him up, and he's a strong kid, just like my daughter. Well, she's a little emotional, but
kids are vicious, man. Kids are vicious.
But the bullying. The thing with that is the internet became now the new school bully platform. Like, and it's got worse because it's adults doing this shit, setting a bad example, and then saying, "I'm a good person, I just want to live right." But F him and screw him and dox him, and his mother does this and his sister does that. And it's just crazy, man. I mean, Sessa went to court. We went to court for shit. I've seen all the documents. I've seen all the shit these guys do on the internet. The shit they do, and I don't know how they get away with it, man. Like, all I'm saying is so many components to this thing, but instant gratification is bad for kids. Low self-esteem is bad for kids. Ice cream might be bad for kids, and red dye 48 too. But all joking aside, I think that we don't have the answers, but I bet you we do know some of the tools and some of the process. And collectively, I just feel like putting this together, I think we could do good, man. And like you said, even if you reach one person, man, like, somebody's going to pick the game up, because I picked it up from somebody. You picked it up. You did. I mean, we might have made mistakes, but you didn't just get all your game from yourself. Like I learned a lot. My dad was on his deathbed.
Yeah.
I learned a lot more too. And
So-
you know, I like to read and shit. So
when I was much younger,
like to read.
coming around the gangbangers and stuff like that, and I was being taught about the gang life. I was being taught this whole code and all these rules that supposed to apply. That actually, if they did apply, the whole growth and development idea, if they were followed to a T, could actually do a little bit. But man, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And that's one thing that these kids just look up to, something they have no clue is bullshit. Because it looks cool. It sounds cool. Oh, yeah, you get beat up by a few dudes and learn a cool handshake after. That's all you do.
Yeah.
End up on an STG list. And hell with all that, man. It did nothing for my life except make it worse.
Yep.
And they taught me absolutely nothing except.
There you go. I'm proving it to you right now that you got game. Here, it's from his book. It's an excerpt from his book. This is I got a cousin named Arlen too. I didn't realize that's your name.
Dude, I appreciate that you always got that book with you, man.
Look,
that you really you really fuck with my book like that.
Yo, page 56. He goes, it's crazy to think I never know this if I never did time. And then he goes, a lifer who's passing game told me to do your time, but never let the time do you. I took his advice because he was right, and right is true. And that's what these kids will be saying at the end of this. But my question is, do you think that we can maybe minimize? We had to go through a lot of shit to get to where we're at now. Do you think we can minimize any of that? Or do you think it's still going to be a rough road? Like, I think doing this, like I said, we're not going to reach the world, but I think we could minimize some of these kids and, like, you know, get the message across, because it seems like you learned something, you know, and we all do.
Is that your book, Cuzzo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Cuzzo.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote that. I wrote that book when I was doing 18 months in solitary.
Okay.
And I say this, and this is not a political, it's not a political push, but I'm just being real with you, Nate and him. I got his books too. Now, let's forget Republican, forget president. If you hear a dude, you know a dude over years, right? And been saying this thing, this dude talks all kinds of shit. Everything he says in every book is the same shit for the last, for 40 some years that I've known about this guy. And it's like, I'm not saying he's the answer. All I'm saying is, in this kind of setting and environment, and way I grew up, your word is everything. So if you're a guy spitting the same shit, you know, and I didn't use that enough political reference, like everybody else too. It's another thing. People always want to change the conversation and change something to suit somebody else's smile, like to make somebody else, if I tell a story this way, that's why there's so much embellishment on the internet. You know, these people talk about shit and want to be shit. Like, I didn't live Cuzzo's life. I didn't do time like that, but I got another story. You know what I'm saying? You did time. You look just like my boy Robbie too, man. It's crazy. Who's this right here?
I gotta leave for work.
Go ahead. Don't even answer on this. Hold on.
I want to do this more with you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is what I want to do. I don't want to be on panels no more where everyone's just screaming at each other and threatening each other over the internet. Like,
rabbits. Yeah. I'm down. Well, I'm getting out of here too, bro. I got shit to do. So just give me 1 second. Everybody that pulled up, I want to thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Nate, thanks for coming, Cuzzo.
For having me.
Well, I don't know if we're going.
Shout out your channel, Nate.
Nate G219, to hell but back and better.
Go subscribe to that, bro. Go subscribe to that. And he's got reactions from stuff from my channel too. And that was before we even knew each other.
Yep.
Look, I got this. I got his right here. Look. Wait. That's Nate's channel right there. Cuzzo, what's your channel?
Cuzzo Costo's life story.
I got it. What about tonight? You gonna be busy?
No, when I get off work around 6.
Listen, call me when you get done. To everybody in the chat, thanks for stopping by. It means a lot. There's more than that. I can already see it's like 40 something saying 5. Thank you for stopping by, man. There's way more to come. My old motto is stay blessed, not stressed. Let God handle the rest. And listen, man, be you. Don't be nobody else. Let them be who they want to be. You be who you want to be. And for the last time, me and Nate are going to tell you guys one more time. We ain't going bald. We're just getting more head. Have a blessed day.
Love y'all. Thanks for watching, man.
Yeah.